All right, cool guys. We got a mini mock stage set up, USPSA style stage, and we really encourage guys to compete and go to local competitions, whether that's USPSA, IDPA, PCSL, whatever it is, whatever circuit surrounds you, go and compete, because it shows you, you'll eat a lot of humble pie at the beginning, but it shows you a lot of things you can work on, and you'll have a lot to draw from when you see experienced shooters shoot. And you're demanding so much of your vision because there's so many transitions, and you're processing so much information at top speed. So it's kind of an identifier to see where you're lacking in your training and what you need to go back and work on in dry fire and on the range. It's kind of a great diagnostic for you guys to compete with other shooters and to see where your skill level is, moving, transitioning, and letting everything come together in one spot. So we kind of got a mini mock stage planned right here. Zach's gonna run it first, and he's gonna figure out what's best way directions to run it. We have some partial targets, so like our white targets, you definitely can't hit those. And then we got another partial target here at distance, so that's obviously head box only, a more challenging shot. It's an 8-4-0.
Might run it one more time.
8-4-0. We score it hit factor style, like USPSA, so I'll go tape them up. All right, so USPSA style stage, we score it hit factor, which is all your points added together divided by your time. So we obviously want the fastest time possible, so you're dividing all your points by a lower number, right? Your alphas are scored at 5 points, your charlies are scored at 3 points, and your deltas are scored at 1 point. So it's a great way to combine speed and accuracy. We talked about how those aren't compromising things. So you gotta have both come hand in hand. So if you have a bunch of alphas and a really fast time, more than likely you're gonna win that stage. So that's the goal for every shooter, right? To be extremely accurate, but also to be extremely fast. So you can't have one without the other, and that's why we like competition. That's why we like to challenge each other, compete against each other, because it adds that stressor, that mental side that you can't really get on a flat range, or you can't get anywhere else outside of that environment, so that competition environment.
Yeah, just imagine timer, 30 other competitors standing behind you. You had 5 minutes to plan a stage, so you're like really inducing stress into your performance. You can gather a lot of data going and competing that you wouldn't be able to get if you were just on a flat range. Yeah, I mean, and it's a good way to test your gear. You can go run it concealed, you can go run it with a belt. It's a good way to go see like the true standing of what my equipment does. You might be running around with your holster dead center, and once you see like, dang, I'm like cutting all these corners, turning around all these barriers. I don't like my holster sitting right here. I'd like to move it off a little bit, 3 inches to the right. It might just be more comfortable for you. All that data you can collect in competition. Yeah, if it breaks a line, it counts. Yeah, so it sucks when targets like this, the freaking alpha box is so small. You know what I mean? Even if you hit right here, all this is Charlie. This is Delta. So you have to hit there to hit A. So there's like 2 kind of ways you could do it. If you're just pushing for speed and you need to make up some time, you can just sacrifice Charlies right here and just real quick 2-2. Obviously you have to go slower if you want to you have to slow your cadence down if you really want to secure an A. I prioritize speed, personally.
Yeah, speed is the priority. So a few different topics just trying to stress the importance of competition and why EDC users should be stepping into the competition stage and testing themselves.
One, because you're under time, you're under stress, and you're shooting in front of an audience, and you're being graded. So you automatically include stress management into your shooting, which is really, really good for collecting data and really just exposing yourself to see what you need to work on. Second, every stage is different. So you're exposing yourself to different kinds of scenarios. And you can really, really test your gear. You know, you might need to place some things differently. You might need to buy Tolster gear if you don't have it. Just a good way to go out there, test yourself, have fun, meet some good people, and learn a lot. And just, you can start picking up on things that you really need to train in your dry fire and on the range.
All right. Shooter ready?
Yep.
Stand by.
Solid
7.56.
hits. What was it?
7.56. Get some guys out, go and compete, find a local match, and that's where you start getting better. Start getting yourself to those next levels, because the way you run a gun in competition probably isn't the same way you dry fire. That tension that you build through stress and running full speed, and just the processing alone, target identification, and how fast your vision can process what you can shoot and what you can't shoot, and how you have to slow things down at certain distances or speed things up. That alone goes so far in your training. So yeah, go out and compete.
And carry with Tolster.
And carry with confidence.
Carry with confidence.
And get a range plus.
Get a range plus.
And compete with that thing.